you so much, Bipul, for joining us for this conversation with Express Drives.
Thank
And
you.
so it's about Ducati. So of course, it's going to be a very interesting conversation. And before we get on to, of course, the motorcycles, the machines, which is what most of the viewers would be looking
Mm.
forward to, let us first start off with how things started off when you took over and you took over control of the operations. And you also took over at a time when, like we just discussed a couple of minutes back, the pandemic just broke
Started.
out,
Yeah.
right? So now, what kind of rewriting of plans did that involve for you? Because I'm sure when you came in, you would have had a certain set of plans, and suddenly
Mhm.
you had this situation. So, how was that move for you? How did you cope up, and what were the challenges there?
See, this has become an often repeated answer for me uh, because last year the pandemic was the topmost news. So I always say it is baptism by fire. The moment joined the position, this Ducati India head position, so we had to face so many things, and the entire plans, whether they were regarding my business expansion or the new product involvement introduction in India, or the basics kind of lineup, so everything got delayed, and it was difficult to handle the customers, to handle the channel partners that way, because everyone expects new bikes from Ducati, one of the most cutting edge technology bikes from Ducati. So to ask them to control and contain their expectations and excitement was a very difficult thing for me. But yes, thanks to all our channel partners and customers, Ducatis Ts, all the Ducatis T who have remained with us, and now we are at a position where we have lot many new bikes. So well, it was a very difficult time, but now I'm very very happy that we are beyond that. It's past 2020 is already over. So let's look to the positive things
Right.
for 2021 now.
And of course, as when we talk about 2021, there was the big announcement about 12
Yes.
motorcycles that Ducati came out with. Now, before we talk about those motorcycles, did this pandemic, did this stage push forward the launch of any of these products? I mean, now the final timeline, do we see, has it, was any of them affected negatively by the pandemic?
Lots of launches got postponed to 2021. In fact, I'm very happy and proud to say that we are going to launch 12 bikes, which we have already informed our customers and media people alike, dealerships, everyone. But yes, it always gives me strange and a great sense of happiness that we are about to launch 12 bikes in this year. And a lot many bikes, I will take, for example, Street Fighter, which we had planned for 2020. This Diavel range of bikes, which we had planned for last year. So, and a couple of other brands as well. So, we definitely lost a very good chance of selling certain bikes in 2020 because of coronavirus. I'm sure you would have gone through news items about our Ducati factory in Bologna, which was closed down for about 7 weeks. Now, for a company like Ducati, factory closure of 7 weeks is a big, big thing. It pushes so many things into future, and the future has its own plans. So it was difficult for us to manage things during those times. But thankfully, at the end of the year, things were within our control, and now we shall be launching all the products which either they were planned for 2020 itself or they were planned for 2021 now.
Okay. And for our viewers, if you could tell us a little bit more about some of the main products from these 12 motorcycles and a bit about their launch timeline. So,
Mhm.
if you could tell us some of the most exciting motorcycles, what to expect and when to expect, because I'm sure that's what a lot of people would be looking forward to.
Sure. I'll start with what we have already done. So we started our BS6 or Euro 5 journey in India with Panigale V2, uh, completely new bike. So India was one of the earliest country to get that bike. So I am very happy that way. Then we had Scrambler 1100 Sports Pro and Pro. Again, that's a pretty new bike. Then we had Multistrada 950S. In India, we were earlier having the 950 version. So for India, 950S version was a new bike altogether.
Right.
So these were three bikes which we launched in the VS6 timeline last year. Now we are about to launch Scrambler in various editions. So in next couple of days, you are going to see our media announcement. Unfortunately, because of the COVID protocol, we still cannot have the on-ground launching of the vehicles, and we cannot meet all our media people, the customers, the dealers at one single location. So let's see when the situation allows us to do that. We would love to interact with each one of concerned people, but yes, for the moment we are constrained to use the online platform, and in next couple of days you shall be witnessing the launch of Scrambler in various forms. Some of the Scramblers would be BS6 versions, some of the variants would be completely new bikes. So that's something. Then in Q1 itself, we intend to launch the Diavel and X-Diavel range of bikes. Q2 means the calendar year Q2, because in Ducati we follow January to December timeline. So essentially, which will be Q1 for the India Incorporated, it would be Q2 for me. So Q2 would be very, very busy for Ducati in the V4 family. We shall be launching couple of bikes in the V4 segment. So Street Fighter, the Panigale V4, and the big daddy of all, Multistrada V4. So Street Fighter would be a completely new bike for India. Panigale V4 and V4S would be new bike, but India has already seen some of those bikes. And Multistrada V4 would be a completely new bike for India. It's a groundbreaking bike, something which India would have never seen, kind of thing. In fact, there are so many features. One of the prominent one being the radar technology, which we are using in Multistrada V4. We are the global first in this kind of technology. So something of groundbreaking things being launched for India. Then Q3 would be again witnessing new Monster, facelift of Super Sports and these bikes. By Q4, we shall be launching this Hypermotard. So lots of bikes are there in the pipeline for the discerning Indian customers, and we will remain busy throughout the year. And that's the happiest part for us, that there would be no dull moment with Ducati this now. Absolutely. So we are looking forward to very exciting times.
Right. And as of now, which is the highest selling motorcycle in your portfolio, and around what kind of percentage of sales does it count?
Scrambler family is the highest contributor, followed very, very closely by Monster. And then we have a very good share of the business from the super bikes, that is Panigale, the adventure tours like Multistrada. So we sell, I would say, almost all the bikes of these bigger families we sell in competitive numbers. But quantitatively, Scrambler remains our biggest selling bike.
Okay. And if you talk about the Indian premium motorcycle space, within that, what would be Ducati share today in terms of market presence in percentage?
That's difficult to answer, Arpit, honestly, because every company has certain different parameters to find out market share. Some do it on wholesale, some do it on retail. So rather than commenting on the percentage market share, I would rather say that the business being done by Ducati in India is in line with the plans of Ducati Global DMH, and we are happy with the kind of business we are getting. Obviously, we would love to have a larger share of the pie, much higher business, but at the moment we are quite happy and satisfied, and we are looking at further increasing our footprints in India.
Okay. And within the Ducati global business, is there a certain number you can tell us where what the contribution from the India business is within the Ducati global?
See, on a global level, last year we did about 50,000 units of bike, and India, because we were quite less, so India, last year the contribution of India was not too much, but yes, we do about the global business is about 55,000, 57,000 kind of thing, and we are in line with Ducati, right? About 600, 700 units, depending on the year. So
Right.
this is how we go ahead. But these things are very small for the calculation. We don't track such things within Ducati family,
Okay.
because every country is different, every market is different with its own set of challenges.
True.
So you can never generalize these things that, well, you are 5% of the global business, so you are small, and you are doing 25, so you are big.
Absolutely. No, no, that's correct. Okay. And so, like you said, okay, I mean, apart from the percentage wise thing, within India, what are your goals, or what are your long term plans? Like, to what kind of growth are you targeting in this market?
Well, the biking community in India is uh, on one hand very mature, and
Mm-hmm.
on the other hand very evolving, and still lot many new riders are joining the family. So it's a very, very fluid state of situation. You cannot say that, well, my pie is about, let us say, 10,000 bikers, which is about the same thing. And I will try to sell, I used to be selling 1,000 bikes, now I will try to sell 1,500 bikes. That's not the situation in India. Because of increasing awareness, increasing connectivity, uh, the propensity of the customer to try and experience newer things, newer technologies, everything. So the market is highly, uh, you can say it's in a very evolving state, and it's growing like anything.
Okay.
The idea between the people, amongst the people, I would not comment on the quantitative aspect that the market is growing by 5% or 15%. That's not the point of my discussion. What I'm trying to convey is the awareness between people is growing at a very fast pace, and there are so many people visiting our showrooms and talking to us through social media channels, trying to learn and understand how superbiking functions, what what kind of different bikes are available. So we are very happy with that thing, and I think, rather than considering I will be selling 500 bikes more than the previous year, or 1,000 bikes more than the previous year, the goal of manufacturers like us should be, I should be teaching, or I should be imparting the information about this wonderful lifestyle to so many more people, because that's how you grow the business. Everyone cannot be an immediate buyer or a customer, but yes, if you are giving the right kind of information, you may have a larger set of customers in future. So that's what we are doing. In fact, all our experiential marketing things like DREs, track days, uh, whatever we do, these all things are focused and centered towards creating awareness in the market, so that we have a satisfied set of customers, satisfied set of friends and family members also, that, well, I know someone having a Ducati and he is super, super happy, super satisfied. So that gives us the happiness. That's what we are working on.
Okay. Alright. And but so, like you said about the market, its potential, would it be right to say that for Ducati, India is one of the fastest growing markets? Would that be right? I mean, where is it, like a fast, or is it one of the fastest markets?
It is one of the fast market, I would say, not the, and underline the, not the fastest
Right.
market. There are
Right.
many more markets globally which are evolving much faster than what India is. But yes,
Okay.
India is one of the very, very important markets in the overall business plan for Ducati Global, and it is one fast market. So we are 100%, or I would say more than 100% committed towards the cause of business in India, as far as
Right.
super biking is concerned.
Okay.
And that's why you see, whatever we sell globally, everything comes to India.
Yeah.
As far as the rules permit, not even a single bike above 800 cc is there, which you can say that it gets sold out in some part of the country and it is not available in India. No, we sell every single bike in India, what we sell across the globe. So that speaks much about our commitment and confidence onto the Indian market.
Sure. Sure. And you also talk about the customer initiatives like the DREs, the track days that you have been organizing now for a while. Now, why I understand the most attractive part about Ducati as a brand is, of course, the super sports and the super bikes. That's like the most glamorous part. But you said that it's mostly like the Monster, the Scrambler series that make up more for your sales. So, what are the initiatives on the off racing track kind of engagement for customers that a lot of your competitors do? And in fact, they do more of those than track days.
See, there are 2 points in your question. One, racing is the DNA of Ducati. So, needless to mention, lots of our efforts go onto the racetrack. So, Panigale definitely is one of the uh, most premium brand as far as racing is concerned. We also spend lots of time, effort, and energy into uh, following up and planning, executing the track event. So that goes without saying. As far as off track, as you say, that is concerned, we are there into big way as well. So as I say, our events which our customers go through us for enjoying and experiencing their Multistrada kind of bikes, their monsters, their desert sleds, and everything. So this is what we are into, and we are actually a big way into this kind of activity as well. So we have a separate property for this entire experiential marketing, and we make good use of that. So as far as this December 2020, our DOC Bombay, the Bombay chapter of our club, they went for the Royal Rajasthan trip on their Ducati bikes, mostly multistradas. So 2020 was one year where we could not do much of this activity because of the pandemic, obviously.
Absolutely.
Still, we are into this kind of activity in a big way. So, like we had taken rides to Rajasthan, we had gone on to ride at to this Spiti, all these locations in 2019, and there have been very many such rides in past as well, which we plan to do again in 2021 and further. So we are absolutely there. We are into this kind of activity, and probably Ducati riders are much more happy the way these kind of events are getting conducted.
All right. Great to hear that. And now, of course, coming back to a couple of your most important products, like you said, we'll be seeing the updated Scrambler soon, and of course also the new Monster. Now, it'll be great if you can tell our viewers a little bit on what exactly to expect in terms of changes from these motorcycles, and what can they look forward to? What can we all look forward to in these two motorcycles specifically?
I would not wish to spoil the fun. rather, I would wish all my customers to visit the Ducati showroom and experience the new bikes all by themselves. See,
Okay.
the first and foremost thing, still respecting your point, in Scrambler, there would be two kind of bikes. One, which is an upgrade of the emission norm, and second, there would be some new uh, variants, you can say. So, like there would be Scrambler Icon 800, which was already available in Indian market. We shall be launching Scrambler Icon Dark as well, which was not available in the market. Then we shall be launching Scrambler Night House, this desert sled in a different avatar. So some of these bikes would be slightly different or new from what they were earlier. Monster kind of bike, it is a new bike all put together. So earlier we used to have Monster 797 Plus or Monster 821. This time it's a Monster in a different way, a new bike altogether with a different engine and different frame, different kind of look. So it is actually difficult for me to put into words what a new Monster would be. The best
Right.
way is to experience the Monster all by itself.
Sure. Definitely look forward to that. And I mean, also, a lot of your competitors, if you look at some of your European competitors, in fact, have now gone into the business of smaller displacement motorcycles, specifically, I mean, because of the popularity and the market scope of these motorcycles. Of course, many of them partnered with Indian companies. So, does Ducati India have any such plans in the long term to look at smaller displacement motorcycles for emerging markets?
Well, at this moment, I think it is important to give the pure, unadulterated Italian beauty to Indian customers.
Okay. That remains the priority.
Yes. So at this moment, we are not developing any specific bike for India or any smaller displacement bike. All our focus and attention is onto giving the big bikes in the best way possible.
Uh, so, I mean, overall, the objective for Ducati is not chasing higher numbers like many of the competitors do, but it's just about bringing the best, maybe the unadulterated Italian flavor to the market.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. Absolutely correct. And this is what our intention is. That's why we are focusing on a specific segment of the market. So all our bikes are higher than 800cc displacement, and there we are centered currently.
And people, while this does sound as I mean, as a motorcycle enthusiast, to me it sounds like a fantastic approach and something I would love, and many other enthusiasts would. From a business perspective, do you think this could be a bit challenging in the long term, considering the kind of market India is in terms of sustainability? Do you think this could be an issue, or do you think without venturing into the smaller displacement segment, you're still fine?
See, you will have to consider a hypothetical situation wherein there are two ends. One is doing something for the sake of earning money, and on the other hand, you have something you are doing for the sake of love. So, Ducati is somewhere in between. We are a business entity, so we cannot say that we do not wish to earn or make money. That would be outrageous because
Yes.
so many things are there. If nothing else, then we have to invest on R&D. So money is definitely important. But at Ducati, we do things more for the love of doing something rather than making money. So we are not exactly focused onto the bottom line of the balance sheet or P&L. So I would say we actually enjoy what we are doing, and we wish to keep on enjoying and loving what we are doing. So that's why in the limited segment we keep on making better and better products.
All right. And one last question is that during the last few months, because of the pandemic, a lot of manufacturers across the various automotive sectors ventured big time into digital forays, I mean, digital initiatives for reaching out to consumers, booking, delivery, a lot of these things. So, what has Ducati done on this front first, and then I'll come to the second part later.
Ducati has been on the forefront of digitalization all the time. In fact, even before the pandemic, we had started working on the digital channels, and pandemic definitely gave us an opportunity and an excuse to further better it for the customers. So I will take a very small example of configurator. So you can go onto the site, you can open configurator, and you will see your desired bike over there. You can put up whatever accessories and apparels you wish to buy. You can see actually how the accessory would look like on your bike. You can put up an order from the site itself. You will be given a number. You can go to the Ducati showroom. You can give the number to the salesperson over there in the showroom. He will punch in that number, and your entire order would be there, and it would go through. So you don't actually need to physically spend time in the showroom looking at the particular accessory or a particular apparel and whatever. You can do that in the safety and comfort of your home at your desired time. Done. Everything is through. You just need to give us a number. For that also, you don't need to come to showroom. You can email to us, WhatsApp to us, whatever. So These are some small examples, but yes, we have become pretty expert into these things, and lot many business transactions are being done through this way. Even our pipeline management system is online. Our entire sales teams, they work onto these things, the scheduling of the test rides, the scheduling of the customers, their various activities and requirements, everything gets done online. So even if the customer wishes, we can talk to them through video call. We have certain additional software plugins with us in our Ducati system in the environment where we work. So all these things can be managed. The only thing what we have not been able to do, I would say that one thing in India, globally that is also being done, is to give the online finance to customers. So for that, the customer, we need to get in touch with customer on a face-to-face basis, because certain documentations need to be signed by the customer physically. Other than that, everything can be managed on a digital level at Ducati as well. So you can buy the bike, you can get the bike delivered, you can ask us to pick up the bike for service, we will service it, we will deliver it at your place. Everything can be done and managed.
Okay. So while this is, of course, I mean, this was the need of the hour and it was done by Ducati and a lot of other companies also, because that's what was needed. But now with things hopefully improving in this year, and if the pandemic situation say resolves over the next few months with the vaccines coming out, do you still see this digital trend continuing upwards from where it is today, or once we all are back to the old normal, do you see this taking a dip? How do you see this panning out in the future?
See, even before, as I was saying earlier, even before pandemic, most of the companies and including Ducati, we were working towards digitalization of our services. See, in past couple of years, what has happened, people like you and me, especially the younger generation, they all have the idea of or the thought process is to look for any information onto your mobile devices. So if you are not available onto the correct channels with the proper information, you get left out. I wish to look for some bikes and Ducati is not available, then the customer is never going to know about what Ducati is all about. So it was the need starting a couple of years ago that we need to present digitally onto the internet space, that we have started doing. Now, as you rightly said, pandemic gave us the situation wherein we need to be here with full force. Going forward, online or digital space would always remain, because this is the how our society is evolving. People do not have much time to physically travel to all the showrooms to get the information. But yes, as I understand, once someone has zeroed in upon certain options or decided to lower down the entire range of options to a couple of options, they will still probably visit the showroom. It is more for the happiness of meeting people online, face to face, having the physical touch and feel of the bike and the goods they wish to buy, services they wish to avail, and then close the deal with a smile and a firm handshake. So it would be a mix of both online and offline world. However, you cannot wish online away now. It is going to be a part of our lives forever now.
All right, great. That Bipul answers all the questions I had regarding Ducati for the day. And thank you so much for your time. And I will look forward to meeting you sometime soon